Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's Untethered Live on a Wednesday night. I'm your host, Jake Johnson, and tonight joining me is the Bandhammer.
Howdy, Untethered Live.
Howdy, howdy. How art thou?
I'm thou.
I'm thou. You're thou.
I'm thou.
You're thee. I'm thou. You're thee.
We the people.
We're thine.
We the people.
We thine. Thus, it's going to be a good show. It's Wednesday. Yay. Who's with us? Amy's first in chat. She gets the gold star. She says, hamburger help her hand. Hamburger help her hand back at you, Amy. Amanda. Camel. Wait.
Hi, Untethered Live family. Good to see y'all. Happy hump day.
Excuse me.
Did you get any on you?
Pardon me. That wasn't bad manners. That was good food.
That's right.
But I was rude.
Hope you didn't get nothing on you.
I did not.
Get
My
you,
mustache caught it all.
get you a bib or something. I hope everyone is doing good. Hiya, Jake. How are you tonight?
Burpee, apparently.
Here, that one's just for you.
Camel.
Amy, here's your gold star and hamburger help her hand, Amy.
Yay. Amanda says...
I just said all that.
Oh, I forgot that. Amy says, like, shared, and invited some friends. Yes, thank you very much. And also, thank you for the coffee. It's doing its job.
You're welcome.
Don't you want to have a cup with me and talk about the world? If so, go to the kitchen, pour yourself up a nice hot cup of coffee, and let's get to talking about it. If you don't have a cup or a kitchen or the will to live, fall asleep and don't ever wake up. But you could look in the description below and get that first cup. It has my face on it. It is fantastic. There's also stainless steel tumblers down there with locking lids. They have the Bible study logo on the front, all the platforms on the back. And also you can buy a set of drums and annoy your neighbors. You can do all of that down there. All the instruments that are down there are ones that I play myself. That's only what I would use. So it's a little bit of simpatico if you happen to purchase one of those things. That's up to you. Or you can just look at them. They're pretty. They're that too. So like, subscribe, share, support, join, and super chats are available in the chat box if you'd like to show a little bit of love. If you'd like to, you can do that at CashApp $JakeJohnsonBand or PayPal.me/JakeJohnsonBand. And one last thing, if you'd like to hang out with us outside of the YouTubeverse and find out what we get up to in the other corners of the internet, you can do that at Facebook.com/UntetheredLive chilling. The link is in the chat. It is a great place to share videos, pictures, texts, and chat and get to know each other. There is a private chat over there to chat privately in, so it's just us, so you can go over there and chat privately about private things that you can chat about in the chat room over there, privately. And also, there's videos that are updated regularly that are adjacent to or concerning the things we talk about over here. They're entertaining, they're fun, they're free, they're quippy, they're short. Go check them out. And now, back to the program. Linda's here. She says, camel, hamburger up her hand, smiley face. Hi, Linda.
Hamburger help her hand.
That's a mouthful.
Hamburger help her hand there, Linda.
You were saying?
How you doing, hun?
Oh, I'm fine. How about you?
Not you. I know how you're doing.
I thought you were talking to me.
No.
Amy says, hi, Jake and Amanda and everyone. Hi, Amy. How are you? Hope you're having a good day.
I talk to you all the time.
Taya Nasha no Karosha, or live long and prosper. Yeah. Which I have no idea where that came from, because that's not what Spock says in the movie, not what they say on the TV shows, but it is in the Vulcan Handbook. So somebody messed up somewhere, but I know it anyway. Amy says, Cookie, wave your hand. And live long and prosper, unwoke. Yes. Yes, they are killing Star Trek, Starfleet Academy.
Yes, it's gone.
Alex Kurtzman needs to crawl under a rock and then have it repeatedly smashed upon top of his head until he stops writing for good. But I don't know if they're going to do that. I have heard tell that they're going to make a year one Star Trek show that takes place after Star Trek, the one with Anson Mount. What is it? The new one. I can't think of it.
31?
Strange New Worlds.
Oh, Strange New
Worlds. They're going to cancel that one after season 5 and start with Paul Wesley as Captain Kirk and Ethan Peck as Spock and Celia Rose Gooding as Uhura and the new guy as Scotty, or whatever his name is, and they're going to move on with that. And that will be headed up by Akiva Goldsman and Alex Kurtzman. And so Bad Robot will continue to make garbage Trek.
Until it gets banned again.
Or, stick with me on this, Skydance, who just procured Paramount, who owns the IP Star Trek, they could just kibosh the whole thing and then hire Robert Meyer Burnett to write Star Trek. And if they did that, Star Trek would be saved. Or it would just continue to be garbage. Either way, I'm over it. I loved it for 40 years. I'm done. I'm not going to fight for it. Here's the link to the chilling page if anyone wants to check it out. Linda says, I'm living the dream, baby. That's terrible. Amber's here. She says, good evening, friends, hearts and stars. Hi, Amber.
Hamburger, help her hand, Amber, and thanks for the card.
Thank you for the card. It was lovely and stickery. Very nice.
And the motorcycle doesn't need any best wishes to get well. It's fine. I laughed so hard when I read that.
When is your birthday, Miss Hammer? Asks Amber.
That be January 11th. I's a Capricorn. Me and Linda both are Capricorns. Woohoo! That's why we get along so good.
That's right. Linda says, hi, Miss Amber. Hamburger brand, or Amdah for short. January 11th is her birthday. It just passed last month or two ago.
Last month.
A couple months ago.
We're fixing to be in June, babe.
That's no.
Yes.
It's March. We're fixing to be in April.
April. Okay, yeah.
I'm not that far off.
I'm not awake yet.
Be laughing at me. What's the matter with you? What's the matter, you, eh? Erika Kirk. Tucker Carlson. It's all lies.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll help. I heard that for every 1,000 video watch hours, average YouTube viewers are getting about $1 per every 1,000 views. But if they are trending with Erika Kirk in the title of their video, they're getting like $20. So I figured I'd give it a shot. If it works, I'll put it in every title because I don't care. I'm that kind of freaky. So let's see what it's your move, algorithm. The algorithm.
You got to get out from being shadow banned first.
Yeah, maybe that'll do it. I don't know. Maybe I should just start toting the lines and just donate the first 5 minutes of every show to whatever woke garbage is trending.
I told you.
And just say that.
I told you just need to start making more clickbait titles.
I can
like
do
everybody else does.
But the problem is I don't like lying to people.
I understand all that, but everybody else makes clickbait titles.
I'm not everybody else.
And
hopefully at some point people will realize that and start coming here for the truth.
And they got thousands and thousands of views.
I know. I'm not dumb. I know what I'm sacrificing in order to stand on a principle. But I made that decision when I started this show to stand on principle. So I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the truth. And hopefully that matters in today's society somewhere. And hopefully it catches on. If it don't, then I will be the only person on YouTube that is, starving to death and telling the truth.
We had a surprise yesterday morning.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What?
When you got up to go outside. We had one of our prettiest trees fell over in the windstorm the Monday night.
Yep.
For no reason. We didn't even know there was anything wrong with it.
Apparently the trunk was eaten in half by termites or something.
Yeah, termites or carpenter ants or something ate the trunk.
And it just fell over.
We
pretty little flower tree.
We have a tree laid down.
I think it's a dogwood. I'm not sure, though.
I'm not sure. I forgot to go out and get a picture and have Google tell me what it was.
But it was pretty, and it's been here for a very, very long time, and I hate to see it go. I
I'm
watched that tree grow up.
going to try to get some branches off of it and see if I can't get some clippings and get it started and save some of it.
That would be nice. Maybe watch some videos on how to do that.
I know how to do it. I just have to figure out what tree it is and go do it.
What's that tree?
I need some of that creek water, some of that creek dirt out there, though.
Now go get it. I want to video that, though.
You're going to get it for me.
Oh, no, I'm not dumb. I told you that earlier. I'm not crawling down in a creek. You can, and I'll video it, and we'll have some good content.
Well, I don't need it down in the creek. I just need, like, off the sides where it's that good dark dirt.
Yeah, we got a whole yard full of that.
Well,
Amber says, thanks, and Linda, heart. Why, you guys are talking so much, y'all need to slow down. I might have to get security in here.
I know, right?
Jesus Christ. Who's the top fan? Amber Grounds is the top fan with 75 XPs. Amanda's in second. Linda's in third. Amy's in fourth. And Stream Elements is in fifth. And they are programmed to respond. So you're doing good. All right. I don't know what that means, but it's a button I have now.
Yeah, that's the crown, the little purple crown thingies with the numbers next to our name.
Could you see that when I switched over?
No,
you
I
can't
could.
see that.
I got one on mine.
Yeah. It's a new thing.
Mm-hmm. So Tuesday, it was 85 degrees here.
Yeah.
Tuesday night, it was 34 degrees here.
Yeah.
And today it was 76.
Yep. Isn't it weird? Welcome to schizophrenic weather.
And I got a notification earlier.
Oh, didn't we have a hard freeze last night?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, frost warning. And then now I've got temperatures stay extreme. Unusual heat continues across the western states with little relief so far.
By unusual, they mean sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's not.
Right.
You don't know. Who needs a weatherman? You don't know. I tell you what, though. I would take that over just hot all the time any day.
Yeah, but
I like a little reprieve every now and then. It's refreshing.
it is.
It's like a surprise. You never know. You might need a jacket. You might not. You might wear a jacket, and then by the time you get to work, you'll be sweating. Bartender really did it this time. Wait a minute, what's that say? John Bertrand, who's that? Has been sad all day. His doctor's appointment was not so great today. Y'all please keep him in your happy thoughts. Who is John Bertrand? I don't know who that is. I would gladly keep him in my thoughts if I knew who he was. It sounds like I should know who it is, but I don't.
That might be that John Bernard guy they were talking about.
No, that's Kevin Bernard. I don't know who John Bernard is.
I don't either. But remember that John guy that they posted a while back that we thought was Kevin? Or thought was Nugget, and then it wasn't?
Nugget,
and then
Nugget and Kevin are two different people.
I understand that, but remember the confusion we had a while back?
Yes.
I think that might be who she's talking about.
Okay, well, LOL, I met him here. But I do not know a Bertrand.
I don't know who you're talking about.
If you're talking about Nugget, that's Hipgrave. And if he's got a different last name, I'm not aware of it. You are correct, Ms. Hammer. Okay. So it's not John Anthony.
No.
Because his last name starts with a P.
And it's not Nugget either.
And it's not Nuggy. So I don't know who it is.
It's the one that she posted a picture of the wristband in the hospital.
Right, and apparently he was met here. So could it have been like a one-timer? Somebody just popped in for a while? Because I don't remember that name.
I don't know. I just remember the picture of the bracelet, and everybody thought it was Nugget, and then they thought it was Kevin, and because I think his name was John Bernard or something.
Hey, Cowboys 8 panel. I missed your hellos. I didn't see your hellos. Let me scroll back up. I don't think they were in here.
I think she missed them when she was talking about she missed them.
Oh. No, it says you missed my hellos. I didn't see them, Cowboys. I'm sorry. Hello.
Oh, no, that's the first thing I've seen you post, Cowboys.
Same here. And we might be getting shadow banned.
Yeah, that's the first I've seen of you.
Amber says, good evening, Cowboys. Hearts and stars.
Hamburger in there, Cowboys. There's Nugget.
Nugget. Good evening, everyone. Says Nugget. Hey, Nugget. How you doing, buddy? And Cowboy says, hello. Smiley face. Hello. I'm sorry I didn't see it before.
Hamburger helper hand nugget.
It's really weird. People keep telling me stuff like that, like they wrote something and it didn't go through.
It does it to me all the time.
I have no way of controlling that, but it makes me look bad, YouTube. Stop doing that. Amber says, same here, cowboy. First post I see from you.
I have to post it on what I'm typing on and then look at my other devices to see if it went every time.
It goes. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I wish I could change it, but I'm at the mercy of whatever they do with their software.
Shadow Man.
Amber says, nuggy nuggy, stars and hearts.
Noogie nuggy.
That's the middle, the nougat. It's right in the middle. That's the soft part. The sticky, icky part.
Oh.
All right, people, why y'all so excited tonight?
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Everybody tired?
It's the way it always is.
Y'all want me to, like, put on a show or something? Dance around with a rubber glove on my head or something?
I'm glad you thought about that before you said it anymore.
I will. I will for your entertainment. We come here to see a show and you just sit there and wait for us to talk.
That's right.
Hey. Fooled you. John says, no one wants to know about my sticky bits. Well, that's terrible, John. Somebody should always want to know about somebody's sticky bits. My sticky bits are quite occupied.
Somebody keeps beating him up, though.
Yeah, I have a sticky bit benefactor. Quite interesting. So the other day, I got T-Mood. They hit me with the everything for a penny thing. And I ended up going about 4 hours scrolling and clicking and trying to be convinced to buy stuff before I finally let go of it. So don't get T-Mood, which is the opposite of Me Too'd. Hashtag T-Mood. Cowboy says it's above your LOLO Amber grounds. Oh, well. Let me see.
Yeah, nothing.
I don't see it either. I'm sorry, honey. It goes straight from Amber to Amber.
Yep.
And the LOLOs.
It's my birthday, January 11th, and then Amber Combat, Amber Combat, Amber Combat, Amber Combat, Amber Combat, Amber, and then you.
Yep.
Where you said you missed my hellos, Cowboys.
And I do apologize for that. Aaron, what's up, brother? He says, start this party. We can now that you're here. The life of the party.
But you're showing up now. That's all that matters.
That's right. You're here now. Amanda?
Hamburger helper hand. Ron, my dear Ron.
John says, I got told in the hospital if I was pregnant.
Oh, yeah?
Were you?
Did you tell him you can't take certain medication and you can't have x-rays because you're pregnant?
Did you tell him you wanted your paycheck now?
Right.
Because that would be a trick. Aaron says, yo. Amber says, sorry, Cowboys. Smiley face with a cool sunglasses. Cowboy says, that's cool. I see how it is. Aaron says, John, I am not the father. Runs like Mari.
John, Aaron is not the father.
Amber says, yo, green team. And Amber says, nugget with a bunch of smiley faces. I will not count them all. Aaron says, this migraine is great. You have a migraine? I can't believe it's not a headache. Never mind. That was funny in my head. I need to slap Tony. Why do you need to slap Tony?
Because his migraine is great.
Oh, Tony the Tiger. I got that. Yeah.
You just referred to it too.
I did, but I didn't think of his name. Like, what the hell is he talking about? Tony?
Wow.
Anyway, I hope that you get a belt and wrap it around your forehead and pull it as tight as it'll go and just hold it there for a little while. That'll make it ease up.
Tony the Tiger, Amber. The
Yes,
Kellogg's
they're
Frosted Flakes.
great. That guy. Any Tony will do, though, in a pinch.
Need to get you some goody powders there, Aaron.
That won't help a migraine.
They do mine sometimes.
That's because it's not a migraine, it's a headache. A migraine comes from the brain. A headache comes from the membrane around the brain. I had a different Tony in mind, says Amber. Tony Montana? Yeah, he gets on my nerves, too. Say hello to my little friend and his fake accent and all that. Somebody needs to smack that guy around a little bit. What do you think?
I try not to think as much as possible.
Insane in the membrane, says Amber.
It's a good song.
Aaron says, whoa, I didn't know that brain stuff. Oh, yeah.
Actually, get you some Excedrin migraine. That works pretty good, too. I'll tell you something else that helps with migraines. Pampering.
Midol.
Yep, Pampering or Midol.
Midol works wonders if you use it for unintended purposes. If you
Yeah.
use it for what it's for, it doesn't do anything for men.
Right, it don't do anything for women either.
But if you use it for other things, it works great. It does have properties.
But yeah.
Angela Ashkins is here. She says, hello, everyone. Hello, Miss Angela. Alangela. Allegedly, Alangela.
Hamburger upper hand, Angela.
Yeah, Aaron says, get me some knock me out rocks. Like Alex Kurtman. Just smack yourself in the head with a big boulder a few times. That'll do the trick.
Yeah, get you some Midol or Pampering or some Excedrin migraine. That Excedrin migraine is a miracle worker.
You Brelvy and caffeine. That works for me, says Angela. I don't know what that first word is, but it sounds expensive.
It's a prescription like the Emgality and
Amanda Jake, says Angela. Aaron says the gel tabs.
Those work quick. Yeah, but you gotta make sure that they're the Excedrin migraine.
Little, yellow, different. It's a migraine medicine. I got it.
Yeah, it's like my Emgality and
migraines can be brought on by any number of things. It's usually because of a chemical imbalance or something like that, and it originates from the inside of the brain, and it is very painful. And it can make you sick to your stomach. Light can make you sick to your stomach.
Mhm.
Sound can make you sick to your stomach.
Yeah, when I get a bad migraine, I have to get the room as cold as possible, put a fan on me, wrap my head up in a bandana or a towel with an ice pack on the back of my neck, and just lay there. No sound. I can't move. Nothing.
Amber says Trump is speaking now on Fox.
Is Trump speaking now on Fox? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm on a live stream with you. I can't see the TV from here.
I have Jake on the TV, so I can't tell you
Right.
what's going on the TV.
John says tampons in your ears is good for a headache.
Right?
It's good for my headache if you do it, because I'll be laughing my ass off and forget all about my headache. Little strings hanging out your ears. Damn it, Jerry.
I know somebody that had
It's
a
good
nose.
for the babies.
I know somebody. Yeah, I know somebody had a nosebleed so bad he couldn't get it to stop, and he went to the hospital, and they put these little blow-up things in
Yep.
his nose with the strings hanging out,
Like a tampon.
and it looked just like he had tampons hanging out of his
He
nose.
did. That's what those are. That's the perfect thing to stop a bleed.
Well, no, these were little blow-up things. They put them in there with a syringe and then pumped it full of air and then pulled the syringe out and left the string hanging.
Amber says eyes. Smiley face, stars and hearts. Aaron says I get migraines because I have stenosis in my back, and it sits on a sciatic nerve that's in your leg, and it goes all the way up to the back into the spinal cord of the brain. That's your cerebellum. The Abdullah oblongata right there. Because of my spinal leaks. Yes, spinal fluid leak is bad. So it comes out of my nose occasionally. Sometimes I'll wake up dripping from the nose and it's spinal fluid coming out of my nose. Yes, I know. Angela says, I'm on Fox and I don't see him. But it's a commercial right now, Amber. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's how TV works. Watch this show. You can watch the president anytime. I'm only on once a Wednesday. Aaron says, I was supposed to not be able to walk like 5 years ago, and I took a 5K medal. I took a 5K medal into the doctor and threw it on his desk and walked out. A 5K, I'm guessing that's for walking.
Yeah, 5K run or walk.
Yeah, I got you. You won a medal. Nice. That's the way you do it. Don't listen to doctors. They don't know much. I mean, they're smart and all, but they learn what they learn in medical school. They learn to cut it out or treat it with medication. That's not always the answer. Sometimes tenacity, grit, that's the answer. Stick-to-itness. Amber says, friends keep sending me a link for Trump on Fox. Well, you send them a message back and say, I'm watching Jake right now. Get with the program. Stop trying to trick me. Always trying to pull me away from what's real. You're supposed to be my friend. How dare you? You're a stumbling block. You should be ashamed of yourself. That's what you tell them. Message, a massage may work, says Cowboys.
Yeah.
It might. If it don't, it at least feels good.
And a hot bath. Of course, Aaron can't get in a bath where he's at.
Tampon headband. He can if he scrunches up. They got a little, it's that big.
I don't know. He's awful big to be trying to get in that little tub. The dog won't even fit in them little tubs.
You could scrunch up.
He might be able to get his head in the tub.
It's perfect for crying in the shower.
Right?
Yeah. Cowboy says, always helps. Smiley. Right on. Aaron says the tampon headband. Also hilarious. It's in the hip joint, says Aaron. All right. Maybe it's Maybelline. Hey, Mabel. Mabel says, ciao, everybody.
Hamburger helper hand.
How's
Mabel?
Canada? Aaron says, ruh-roh. Hang on, my chat jumped. There we go. Mabel says, Amber, hearts and stars. Maureen Floods here. She says, hi, folks. Please like and share. I did. Thank you very much. How are you, Maureen? Come on in.
Hamburger helper hand, Maureen.
Amber says, green team, I'm supposed to be dead. They gave me 6 months about 7 years ago. Right on. You and I both. I was told at the tender age of 6 that if I had an operation, I might live to be 16. But I'd be in a lot less pain if I didn't have the operation. But if I didn't have it, I wouldn't make it to 5. You do the math. So, anyway, here I am. I had the operation, but, you know, I still lived. I think they're just like saying that. Angela says, I'm watching you, Jake. My TV's always on, even if the sound is down, like now. Right on. I'm just teasing you, honey. Amber says, is Hannah here? If so, hearts and unicorns. Maureen says, yeah. I had got that link, and they sent me yours. Hold on. I had gotten that link. Then Amy sent me yours, and here I am, LOL. All right. I don't know what he's talking about, but I can tell you probably it's going to be about Iran and probably about all of his achievements. Aaron says they learn how to raise 40% and treat and repeat. Right on. I'm into fixing problems. I don't like band-aiding problems. If it's got to be cut out, I say do it with a pocket knife and get it over with. Amy says, Trump speech, different day, different promises broken. My gas is over $4.19. Well, that's because we're at war. Before we started the war, it was down to $2.50. I wouldn't call that a broken promise. That's just the nature of the world. It ain't ever going to stay down. It did go down, but then it went back up. Hopefully the war's about over, though. I've heard rumblings that we're just about to end that thing. I don't know you. We'll see. It's nothing I want to say right now because it may not be true. So I don't want to go out and say that it's over and then it not be. But I've heard rumblings. Amber says, Maureen, hearts and stars. Maureen says, hi, Amber. Aaron says, shit, I'll go find a house and be like, I don't eat much. Let me in. Cowboy says, my doctor, it's healed me 5 months later. I healed it. Yeah. Mabel says, Amber, she is finishing up her homework because she spent the last couple of hours on the phone with her daddy. Heart. Smiley face. All right. Well, maybe that homework's important. So make sure she gets that done. Amber, and thank God she's doing homework. My kids stopped doing homework. It's like it just quit. They just quit sending it. Now send messages to the teacher like, where's the homework? They don't have homework. Why am I sending them to school? You know, it's not a good thing.
Go find an old folks trailer park with a pool, Aaron.
That's right. Aaron says, we have a pool. It's Florida. Everybody has a pool. Go outside and look to the left. There's water.
Yeah, those have critters.
Go outside and look to the right. There's water.
Yeah, that has critters.
Okay.
You in Florida, if it's a body of water, an open body of water, I guarantee you it's got a gator.
If it's in Florida, your pool might have a gator.
Yeah, you ain't careful.
Maureen says, good thing God is the one with the real plan. Amen, sister. I agree, 100%. And sometimes that plan don't make a lot of sense to us earth people. But it makes perfect sense to him, and he knows what he's doing. Aaron says, I should go walk in it. In what? The pool?
The pool.
You should. Maybe if you dunked down under the water and took the pressure off your body and just floated, that might ease up your headache a little bit.
I hope he knows how to swim.
Well, there is a shallow end. Amber says, please say hello for me, Mabel. Mabel says, hello. You're welcome. Amy says, when Trump said drill, baby, drill, I didn't know it meant our wallets. Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but that's where the money comes from that they use. They don't have any of their own. Mabel says, of course, Amber, grazie. Of course. I don't know why she has a French accent. Of course. Aaron says, Amy, let me get $1. Holla for $1. Dollar bill, dollar bill.
Oh, well,
dollar.
go relax in it and just float. You know how to swim? LOL.
Angela says, LOL, Amy. Still cheaper than under Biden.
Right?
Very true.
Everything is.
And way less humiliating. I mean, this sums up the Biden administration. Right? At least it was like, USA. Gas is expensive. USA. It's better. Maureen says, hey, Angel. Amy says, my gas was never down to $2.50. Sorry, mine was for about half a year. And then it creeped up, and it still ain't that bad. It's $3.89 right now, I think.
LOL, right, Angela? Everything is cheaper than under Biden.
Right on. Remember eggs and milk?
Yeah.
We didn't even drink milk for a year. Or eggs. Or bacon, for God's sakes.
Yeah. Milk or eggs was over $6 a dozen.
Yeah.
Now,
ridiculous.
Now they're $2 a dozen. Milk it went up. I got it for a little while for 97 cents a dollar.
97 cents, yeah.
Yep. Now it's $2 a gallon, which still isn't bad.
Eh.
The sugar, I'm paying a dollar or $2.12 for a 4-pound bag of sugar.
Angela says, hey, Maureen, heart. Aaron says, the whoosha. LOL, making Jake read funny stuff is great. Bitty bitty bop, bitty 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 boop bop. I have no problem making a jackass of myself for your entertainment. Don't ever forget that. Who else would read funny stuff So you'll laugh under your breath.
Oh no, we crack out laughing.
Cheaper than under Biden is wild, right, Aaron? Mabel says, well, she is homeschooled, but if she doesn't finish her work, she has to finish it after dinner. She usually is good with it, but it was a distracting day. I hear you. I understand that. I am 100% a proponent of homeschool. I've done the math. I've watched for years now. School ain't what it used to be. If you send your kids to school, you are asking to lose them. You're like offering them up. 100%. Homeschool is the way to go. And that's coming from a position of wisdom, not just desperation or foolhardiness. I've looked into it. Believe me, there is no better option. Homeschool.
Private school's next in line.
Yeah. Well, there's some good in private schools, but there's some of the same old there too. Depends on where you go and who's there. And it's just, they're your kids. You only get one shot at it. And in my opinion, with the way things are right now in this society, that one shot, you're rolling the dice if you take that shot. If you send them to public school or private school, you better take it into your own consideration and teach them what you want them to know, because you're the only one that can and will. You're the only one that will. Because everybody else has got an agenda, and I don't want my kids to have an agenda. I want them to have, fear of God, knowledge of the world, and strength in the backbone. And you're not going to learn that at school. Angela says Indiana has state and local taxes on tax that adds up to about 78 cents per gallon, Amy. Indiana does have higher taxes on gas than many states, Amy. Yeah, there's several states that are like that. Fortunately, we live in one of the states that is on the lower end of the spectrum as far as gas goes. We're always cheaper than everybody else, by a little bit anyway. And Georgia is next in line to us for whatever reason. I don't know. It has something to do with tobacco. I'm not sure.
Because they harvest it here. They grow it here. Be glad you're not in California paying like $8 a gallon.
Yeah, that's ridiculous in California. And probably in Chicago and New York, too. Maureen says schools and teachers and students are way too dependent on computers these days. I agree. 100%. Computers are an interesting thing. They're a double-edged sword. They can be a source of all the information in the world at your fingertips. And by the same token, they can destroy your brain. You just have to be very careful with it. It's like handling a loaded weapon. It can defend you, or it can cause you problems, or it can end you. It's all in how you use it. It's not to be trifled with, though. Computers are definitely a source of bad information. But it's also a source of good information if you know where to look. Angela says tax on gas, not facts on tax. Aaron says gas here is $5 a gallon. Wow. In Florida?
Yeah, down where he's at, yeah.
You live in a pretty uppity place, though, don't you?
Yeah.
A black man swimming, LOL, says Aaron.
LOL.
Way to break the stereotype, man.
LOL, that's what I meant, Aaron.
Just see a white guy and throw some chicken and watermelon at him. I don't think. My question is, who don't like chicken and watermelon? They're delicious.
Right.
There'd be something wrong with you if you didn't like that. And swimming, I guess if you live in Florida, it's weird that you don't swim. It's not weird that I don't swim. I live in North Carolina. I'm nowhere near water.
Yeah, you are.
Not really.
We're not that far from the coast.
Far enough that I don't want to go there. And I certainly don't want to jump in the water. Everything in there wants to eat you. What kind of person jumps in the ocean?
Well, I'm not arguing that point, but we're not that far from the coast.
Aaron says, 1, I'm tall as hell, and 2, yes, I can swim and dive. Right on. Well, that's good. Amber says, yes, Aaron, goof. Smiley faces. And just don't get your hair wet. Why not? Is he like a chia pet?
Aaron don't have enough hair to get wet.
Does it floof if it gets wet? Does it have babies if it gets wet? Why not?
It gets kinky. You get some kinky curls if it gets wet, but Aaron don't have enough hair for that.
In the words of Cuba Diddy Jr.,
Cuba Diddy.
I'm a man of honor. I promise to die like a Navy man. Only for me, it would be an Army man. So not in the words of Cuba Diddy Jr. Got it.
Oh, okay, good then. Cooper Gooding.
Cuba Gooden. Cuba Gooden.
Cooper Diddy wasn't supposed to be Cooper
I knew
Diddy.
who you were talking about.
I knew what he was talking about too. I just thought he was being funny.
Did it really correct you into saying Diddy? Because that's funny. Wet hair. I'm good, says Aaron. It didn't floof. Okay, you're good.
He don't have no hair.
People can't live on eggs and milk, says Amy.
Sure you can.
Sure you can.
You can do a lot with eggs and milk.
Amy says, I don't drink milk, and a friend gives me eggs from his chickens. I don't care about eggs and milk. Grocery prices are outrageous. I can't help you. Don't get mad at me. I'm just a messenger.
They'll come down again.
They will come down. They can't stay there forever. Aaron says, I plan to grow my own. You should grow your own eggs.
Let me know how that works.
Makes a pretty garden. Nice and oval. I'm curious as to how you plan on getting your milk, though. Careful how you milk that thing.
It'll spit at you.
And Maureen says, yeah, I've been ready to step in if and when family needs me to, so our kids get an education rather than indoctrination. Yes, Maureen. And the world needs more people like you because everybody can't do the homeschool thing, not because they don't love their kids, but because they don't know how to focus all of that teacher energy, right? I wouldn't have had a clue how to do that. So I'm actually kind of glad I didn't have to. But if there's people like you that can do that, and you have a community of people that have a lot of kids, you should probably do that. And that would help them tremendously. And it would help the kids tremendously. I mean, you'd be a lifesaver. Angela says, I'm not going to complain. I know it's only temporary. I have full faith in Donald Trump. I knew when he came down the escalator that he was the president I had been praying for since 1980. Right on. I kind of felt the same way. I never doubted it a second. Even when they said he lost, I didn't believe it. And it turns out I was right. But I do think he's gone the way that so many presidents go with that power, you know. When you start dealing in world things, I think America First should have been the only thing he did. And I don't agree with the other stuff he's doing. I don't like it, and I didn't vote for it. That being said, if you turn on a man just because he does something you disagree with, that's not a very good sign. So I'm trying to remain calm and see it work out, see it through. If it turns out that he's just messing things up, then I'll be the first one to say it. But I'm not just going to jump the ship just because he does something I disagree with.
And the prices have to go up a little bit to help fund everything that's going on.
I mean, you imagine how much those missiles cost to make and maintain?
Not to mention all the aircraft and the inspections and everything that they got going on. And
I think just a regular airplane, something like $20,000 an hour just to keep it running. Something like that. I'm not sure what the numbers are, but it's high. Maureen says, me too, Aaron. Patty Donahue says, hello, childrens. Hi, Patty. Nice to see you. Maureen says, Aaron, I'm going to plant in buckets this year. Interesting.
Hamburger helper hand, Patty.
Make you like a windowsill garden? Or are you talking about like 5-gallon buckets? Make you like a picnic table garden? That'd be cool. Grow a lot of things in that much dirt. Aaron says, I'm complaining, LOL. And me too, Maureen. Hang on.
912.
Thank you. Patty says, hi, guys. Hi, Patty. How are you? How are things in Tennessee? Aaron says, Patty Mama Legend. It is good to see you. Maureen says, kids can't even spell these days, much less do actual research. I know. Or math. Or know anything about history. It blows my mind watching these videos of these kids. And people come up to them on the street and ask them basic history questions, and they act like they don't even know what country they're in. Maureen says gas is about $3.30 here upstate South Carolina. That's a little lower than we got. I think ours is like $3.89. That's pretty good, though. Patty says, I'm out here rocking it, Aaron. Right on, girl. Aaron says, he will catch it and eat it, LOL, chicken and watermelon. Right? I would. If you throw watermelon and chicken at me, I'm going to sit down and eat. Yeah, buddy. Get some hot sauce. Angela says, complaining ain't going to make it anything better. Just keep people in a pissy mood. God always helps us survive. Have faith, be grateful, and let God show his love in tough times. Amen to that. And I think that's the right way to think. Maureen says, I want an indoor pool so I can exercise in the wintertime. My brother has the outdoor pool for that. Right? You do have an indoor pool. It's just a tiny one. They call it a bathtub, and it's hard to swim in with the backstroke, but you can float. Maybe. You might get water all over your floor. It's the indoor. I'm going to the indoor pool. Don't forget to put a towel down. All right. Aaron says, facts, Patty. Rocking out with your socks out. Wait.
I'm glad you said it that way.
Pissy is as pissy does, says Aaron. I agree. 100%. Angela says, so we are working on getting Mike's sister a legal resident and all her stuff switched here to Indiana so she can take care of him through Freedom Care. Amen, Angela. I knew you'd figure it out.
That's good.
I hope that's a load off of you, too. Why can't prices stay high forever? Do tell, says Cowboys. I don't know.
Well, it would crash the economy. Be the homeless situation would go crazy.
They would love it. Aaron says nutsack equals on eggs. Right on.
It would ruin the economy, Cowboys. It would, because nobody would be able to afford anything. Then everything would go up.
I think our economy is very fickle, and I think they play with it all the time. If you start looking into how we count money and what it's based on, what makes money valuable, it gets scary real fast. You go back to the 60s when we were on the gold standard, and Nixon took us off the gold standard and put us on the petrodollar, and that contract lasted until last year or year before last. And I don't know what they did. I hadn't heard what the new thing is, but I understand that we're fighting in a lot of countries now that have oil. It kind of makes me wonder, is that why? Because that contract ran out and we need to get back on a petrodollar or get back on the gold standard. Problem with that is there's not enough gold in the world to cover the money. We've gone way past that. They've just been printing money through the Biden years and through several other years. They've been printing money like it was candy, just like comic books, just printing money with no accountability whatsoever. So that money, there's nothing to back it. It's an IOU. It basically has no value at all. I saw a graph once where like a quarter, you could buy a loaf of bread for a quarter, like say in the 40s. And the graph followed the trajectory of the value of the dollar. And it's still worth that much in silver today. still worth a quarter worth of silver today, only the price is like $3 or whatever it is, $1.50, whatever it is. So the price of silver has lowered rather than, or gold or whatever it is that is based on. And that's a real scary proposition if you think about it. Because we're going to get to a point where there's more money out there than there is anything to back it up. And at that point, the dollar collapses. And if the dollar collapses, I mean, you got to think about it. Most countries use the American dollar as the preferred currency. Most countries. There's a few that don't. But most places you go, American money works just fine. So all of those countries are going to collapse because they depend on the American dollar. That's why it hasn't collapsed, but say the euro dollar did. The only answer for that is digital currency. And to this year, they're talking about a government Bitcoin coming out. So that sounds to me like we're going towards digital currency. I don't know the answers. I'm not an economist, but I can tell you the whole thing is scary. And it seems like somebody's playing with some element of it at all times, keeping it in an uproar when it otherwise would be calm. But why they do that, I don't know. I'm not smart enough to live in that world, which is why I live in this world, because I can't function in that one. Nugget says, buy an ostrich. They lay eggs after ostrich burgers taste good too. They lay eggs and after ostrich burgers taste good too. Yes. And they lay big eggs. You can feed a whole family with one egg. They're kind of strong. They don't taste real good, but they will make an egg. Aaron says, I'm sure the 1% can cover it for now. What happens when we get to the place where they can't? I don't know the answer to that. That's terrifying. Oh, no. Amy, I wasn't suggesting that. I wasn't saying that to you. I was just saying it in general. Amy says, just because I disagree with him doesn't necessarily mean I'm against him. My issue hits at home when I have to choose between groceries and paying a bill. I hear you, honey, but we're all in that boat. You're not by yourself. And I wasn't saying that to you. I was just saying that that's how I feel about the situation. And that's just the conversation we're having. And it's not directed at anybody. Maureen says, oh, I'm open to teaching any kids in my proximity. I've even tried to lay in some resources. I hear you. It would be awesome if we could make in certain communities, like a homeschool community where all the parents that were good at that sort of thing could come together and make a place for all the children to come together and learn outside of the government. That would be wonderful, but I don't have a clue how to set something like that up. But yeah, that would be great. They do something like that around here in the farms. A lot of the farm parents have gotten together. I don't know any of them, but I've heard stories about it. Their kids seem to be doing real good. Sorry, my chat jumped. Oh, here we go. I got it. Amy says, food scarcity is a scary thing. It sure is. Angela says, most likely going to my son's until senior disabled housing opens up. Hold on. Most likely going to my son's until senior disabled housing opens up in the town my two youngest grandkids live in, or I'll just live with my son, but I'm forming a plan and leaving here. I hear you. Well, you said the other night you wanted to be with your son, so that doesn't sound like too bad of an alternative to go stay with him if he's up for it. You'd be a lot of help to him, I'm sure. Aaron says, no matter who sits in the chair in the White House, or no matter who's in charge, hold on. No matter who sits in the chair in the White House in charge of me, I'ma eat, damn it, right? No matter who's in charge of you, you're eating. I got you. Amy says, see, that's the thing. I say stuff and unhappy about with Trump, and instantly I get jumped on. He's not a god. Nobody's jumping on you. Nobody's jumping on you. And he's not a god. You're correct. Maureen says, 5-gallon bucket just in case it needs to be moved. Right on. And also, you can grow a lot of vegetables in a 5-gallon bucket. A lot of things will grow in that much dirt. It's actually not a bad idea, especially if you don't have a lot of area, like if you live in town or something like that. 5-gallon buckets on the veranda or something, that's great. John says, my Zimmer frame don't cost nothing to run, nothing but energy.
What are you talking about, Amy? We're all just having a conversation.
Aaron says, we have hurricanes, so buckets are best, right? They're definitely portable. You can get them in and out of the weather quickly.
LOL, Nugget.
Maureen says, they can't even tell you what opportunities.
What countries?
What country? What?
They can't even tell you what countries border the U.S.
Oh, the kids? Right. Right.
We watch these little skits on YouTube, and they'll be just pulling random people or even people at college, and they'll ask them, where's the Great Wall of China? Or how many stars are on the flag?
Where's the Great Wall of China?
Yeah. They don't know. How many stars are on the flag? Or what's the capital of just...
How many states are in the United States?
Right.
Most answer, 52. Really? Really?
Name 3 countries.
Right. Name 3 countries. Like, I could do that in the 3rd grade. What's happening here?
Who's the first president? They can't answer none of that stuff.
Aaron says, if I had boobs, I'd set them puppies free. God bless America. I'm with you, Aaron. Patty says, message retracted. I can't read it if you retract it, honey.
Aaron says, I saw it. It said, yes, Aaron.
Right on.
It did.
Set them puppies free. Absolutely. Angela says, you pay the bills or at least enough to keep them on and do the best. Keep the lights on and do the best to put food on the table. Have faith have faith that the food blessings come your way. Also, see if there is help for your bills. Right on. Amanda says,
LOL, Aaron, we do every chance we get.
boobies. Aaron says, PSA, no pants is cheaper. Also, save water. Shower with a friend. I learned that from Chevy Chase. Good advice then, good advice now. Patty says, good food gets me excited more than anything these days, really. Yeah, I don't get excited about food. I know people that do. I have a guitar player that used to play with me for years and years, and we'd go out to eat after a show, and I would just sit there and marvel while he ate. It sounded like I was watching a porn video. And he's hunkered over his, plate and just shoveling it in, just really enjoying. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. What's wrong with you? I've never been that excited about food in my life, even when I was hungry. It's like, yeah, whatever. He loved it, though. Like, I don't know. Like a fat kid loves cake, I guess. It was something else to behold. But hey, if that's what floats your boat, enjoy it, right? I've never been that excited about anything, especially food. Coffee, maybe. Angela says, I raised 3 kids on 1 income and no child support or welfare. They did have medical from the state, though. I hear you. It's hard to do that these days, though. It ain't like it was in the 70s and 80s. Or 90s, even. Aaron says, Patty, I'll be so healthy. Right? Amanda?
I hear you, Patty, and I have to say I have been making some really delicious stuff lately. Jake takes a bite and just keeps shaking his head yes while he's eating.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've hit a streak here lately. I've been making some bang up stuff.
She has been doing good. I don't trust digital currency, says Angelo, and you're right not to. You shouldn't trust it. Not for nothing else. The most important reason is because that's the signal of the end times happening, because that's one of the things the Bible says is going to happen. Currency will go away, and we'll go back to some other form of currency, but paper money will be gone. So will world religion. It'll all be one religion, Individual religions will go away. And so will leadership. There'll be one governing body, not individual countries. So all those things are coming to pass. And the World Health Organization, if you go listen to them talk, that's what they're pushing for right now. All of those things. They hadn't done it because they don't really have any power. They just have influence, right? The World Health Organization is just people that just talk. And like Davos and the Bilderberg Group and things like that. That's all they just talk. But they're all rich people that have influence talking. And that's how ideas happen. And that's why a lot of these things occur and you don't know where they came from. They came from those kind of meetings. And digital currency is a bad, bad, bad thing. You don't want that to happen. If you give up your own agency with your money that you hold and you control, they can make you do anything. Because if you don't do it, they'll just cut your money off or cut your lights off or whatever. That's what they want. Don't let them have it. Always go against digital currency or any kind of paperless money. I'm not sure that the credit card was a good idea. Maureen says, Angel, me neither. Aaron says, I was a dad with no welfare. Do I get a sticker too? Right. And I didn't have any. I just did what I could for my kids and did the best I could by them. They were all right. Angela says it's like the virtual money, which means it don't really exist, right? Right. If it's just numbers on paper, it don't really exist. Patty says, I don't trust anything but the good Lord. Amen, Patty. Aaron says, my pants go on the same as them. If only they felt that way. Angela says, yes, especially now, Aaron. Maureen says, yeah, Angel, yeah, it becomes a case of enough gov control. I don't know what the NOF is, but it becomes a case of government control. Yeah, if currency is digital, they control the money. They'll introduce something like a social credit score like China has, or if you get too many down votes, they take your money away from you, or they don't let you pay your bill or whatever it is. You don't want people to have that kind of control. That's a bad situation. Aaron says, facts, Patty. Trust God. When all else fails, God won't. That's true. And we need to fight to keep cash, too. I agree, Maureen. I think cash is where it's at. Cash is king because it's yours and you know where it's at. And if they could get rid of that, they would, because that cash gives you the power because they want it. As long as you have it, then you're the one in control of that situation. Aaron says a Capri Sun fixes everything. I mean, if you're into juice, if you can stab that little stabby thing, I can't do it. I can't ever get it right. I'll mess up the whole thing. Spill it all over the place. Still don't get nothing to drink.
It is not that hard to get a Capri Sun straw in a Capri Sun.
And just every time I stab it, it folds.
You don't stab it. You just fold the top back and find the little circle and very gently stick the
It's
straw
easy
in.
for you to say. I can't even see the damn thing.
Well, that's a personal problem. Feel for it then.
Angela says, nobody jumped on you, Amy, and we gave you our opinion and how we are making it through this time. We are all in the same boat, Amy, and we're trying to give you hope and encouragement. Amen. A cowboy says, I want a sticker. Upside down smiley face.
Me too.
I have a bunch of them because Angel sent me a card. Which one? Amber sent me a card.
Amber, I was going to say, she sent us a few of them that are full of stickers.
I get them. I got like 3 A's, 4 A's. I get them confused, but it was Amber.
I told Jake I'm just going to take all the stickers and put them all over the mirror in our bedroom.
But we just need a piece of plexiglass and just keep a record of stickers.
Right?
I love it, though. But you can have a sticker. Let's see if we can find you a sticker. There you go.
It just says sticker.
I tried. Aaron says, sticker planted. John Nugget says, Britain has the same highest prices for energy in the world because they won't drill, right? Or has the highest prices for energy. Yeah, because they won't drill and they depend on Russia for that oil, for that gas, that pipeline. Yeah, that's not a good situation. But you guys are closer to the people that have the oil, and if I'm not mistaken, have some ownership, like in India and in places like that. I don't know why you couldn't have oil rigs up running. I don't understand that one. Patty says, tell that minion where to go. Get off your cloud. Which minion? The little yellow one with one eye? Little bastard. Aaron says, I make mine self-watering.
That's easy to do.
Hydroponic with PVC emitters from the rain. Yeah, I had this vision once of a greenhouse. You build a greenhouse and set it out in a field somewhere where there's constant sun. And inside the greenhouse, you put a fish aquarium. And in that fish aquarium, you have a false top that's covered with soil. And you plant grass or some kind of good growing greenery on top of that and let it drink from the water beneath. You're oxygenating the water, and you got fish in there, so the fish poop fertilizes the soil, and the roots go down into the water. So then you can plant vegetables on top of that. And then you put in the fish tank, there's a certain type of African fish that has a high turnaround. They have a lot of babies. They make twice a year.
They're African cichlids.
There you go. And they're good to eat. And so you can eat the fish once they've started producing over about a year time and you've got babies. Then you can start culling them and eating that. And then you can eat vegetables that you grow on top of that. Now all you need is a protein. So raise rabbits outside. And you can feed the rabbits the greeneries that you don't eat that grow on top of the big fish aquarium. You can eat fish, and you can eat rabbits. That's cheap living right there. And it's self-sustaining. It'll run by itself year-round. It's just an idea I had. I don't know how to make it work, but if you could figure out the details and make that work, and you use hydroponics to make all that function.
Yeah, you can also, talk about self-watering, Aaron, you could take a 20-ounce bottle or a 2-liter bottle, depending on how big of a thing you're trying to water, and just take a little bitty, like a penny nail, and just poke a hole in the lid of the bottle, fill it up with water, put the lid on it, turn it upside down, and bury just the lid of the bottle into the water or into the dirt, and it'll only take what it needs when it needs it.
Interesting.
As the soil dries out around the bottle, it'll let out enough to get it wet, and then when it dries again, it'll let out enough to get it wet.
That's like those hamster feeders.
Kind of.
Maureen says, 1-room school, and I've substituted in K through 8 and have SPED. Only avoided high school, but could handle them with good parents. Amen. Well, that's awesome. You need about 5 more of you, and you guys could start a school. And then run the government out of business. Get our kids away from the government. That's what we need to do in every state. I don't know why we hadn't had some kind of coalition started already. But we need to get... I think the idea of getting rid of the Department of Education was a great idea. I don't know whether or not they succeeded. I hope they do. I hope that's gone. I've yet to hear anything yet. Probably be 10 or 12 years before it makes any difference. But if they could remove the Department of Education and put the idea of teaching your kids back in the hands of the parents and stop trying to be the world's daddy, I think we'd be in a lot better shape. The government should not be our parents. Great Wall of China is made in Taiwan, says Aaron, and you're not wrong. Everything was made in Taiwan in the 80s. Do you remember that? When I was a kid, everything I touched had the Made in Taiwan sticker on the bottom. I remember that. Or Hong Kong. Made in Hong Kong was a lot of it. I hadn't seen either one of those in a long time. Now everything's just made in China or Indonesia. Maureen says, I've got a large porch out in the country, and I plan on planting many fruit trees, too. Nice.
Many fruit trees.
Mm-hmm. That's a bunch of little ones.
Yeah.
Patty says, Amy, tell the minion to get gone. Who's the minion?
Whatever's aggravating Amy.
Mm-hmm. It's a hard life out there. I understand. Sorry, my chat jumped.
Oh,
I'm back to sticker.
937.
937.
You're up 4 chats.
Here we go. Angela says, the one world order stuff is what Obama first talked about before he made the presidential bid. Someone had to have shut him up because he quit talking about it and won the presidency. Well, you see, he was talking about it because that was the plan, and he furthered that plan as president. He didn't have to talk about it. He was in office doing it. And Trump is the only president we've had in a very long time that stopped that process. That's why they hate him so much. Regardless of what you think about Trump, he is not playing that globalist thing that everybody else is involved in. And they can't control him because he doesn't want their money. And that's the big problem. You look at anything they've ever said and anything they've ever done, it came at the behest of them not being able to pay him off to shut up. That's it in a nutshell. That's the reason they hate Trump, because they cannot control him. And that's the reason I voted for him, because at least he's going to do what he thinks. This year, I'm not so convinced of that because he's been doing a lot of things that are against what he talked about before. But again, I don't know everything that's going on, and I trust that he knows stuff I don't know. He has information I don't have. So maybe it'll work out. I don't know. I hope he's still got America's best interest in mind. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt for a little while, but he could be just like every other president, and eventually they found his price. I don't know. Angela says, I couldn't do it now, especially on what I made then, right? Talking about raising kids on a salary? Yeah. Angela says, Aaron, there's only one Capri Sun. And that's a son wearing little short pants.
Those are Capri shorts.
Mm-hmm. Can't find where the straw goes in them either.
Well, depends on who's got the straw.
Right. Angela says, oh, Amber, that's so sweet.
Let's not talk about you and your little shorts or your spandex and your Capri Sun straw.
I don't have a... Hey, you watch your mouth. Angela says, oh, Amber, that's so sweet of you to send cards and stickers to Jake and Amanda. I'm not good at things like that. No, it's all right, honey. It is awful sweet of her, too. Cowboy says, smiley. Amber says, my Easter cards have bunnies and hummingbirds in them. Oh, I like hummingbirds. I got hummingbird feeders. We need to put some hummingbird feeder juice in them.
Yeah, that's easy to make.
It ain't long for they'll be buzzing around.
Yeah, well, keep reading.
Aaron says, high C, stab, 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 right? Can't ever find that little hole. That's what she said. Amber says, eyes, let me have your address. There you go. And you'll get a card too. You can exchange that address over on the Facebook page if you want to, on the private chat, so only you two will have access to it.
I don't think that Angela is in the Facebook chat, but I can put her in there if she's on Facebook.
There you go.
She's got to go send a friend request to the Untethered page, though, so I can put her in there.
I'll tell her how to do all that, and if she wants to do it, she can.
I love hummingbirds. I need to get the hummingbird feeders going.
Yep. Well, there's 4 or 5 of them out there.
I've only seen one, but...
Well, they're out there.
I butt my head in it all the time.
Aaron says, do it. Hummingbirds. They're awesome critters, by the way.
Yeah.
They're one of the only animals that can hover.
And fly backwards.
And they can fly backwards. But hovering, that's the important part.
Right.
Even bumblebees don't do that well. The science behind that is amazing. Like, they've tried to figure it out on math, and it's amazing how they can just not move, just float right in thin air, like nothing's holding them up. Amber says, I can't wait for my SSI to post. I need to get stamps. I hear you. I don't know what any of those words mean, but I'm with you.
SSI, disability.
Oh. Yeah. I got you. John says, we have oil in the English Channel enough for hundreds of years, but they won't use it because of net zero. We got oil here too. Thousands of years of oil all over the country, and we don't drill our oil either. Not a lot. I mean, there's some places in Texas and in Pennsylvania that are drilling, but not like to fill up the reserves. That's just private people selling oil, you know. Texas does a lot of it, but I don't know why we don't tap into our oil. Alaska's got oil, lots of it, you know. Antarctica is slap full of all kinds of chemicals and what's the word I'm looking for? Natural resources, things that we use, tungsten and uranium and, you know, gold, you name it, it's all there. Tons of it. But it's the only thing that all countries, 149 countries, all agreed. Don't touch Antarctica. And when's the last time you ever heard of a new land being found that somebody didn't immediately stick a flag in it and go to war over it? Yet we all agreed. First time, we all got together and agreed and signed an agreement. Nobody touches Antarctica. It's off limits. That's weird. That's one of those anomalies. That's something countries don't do. It makes me wonder. April Rain's here. She says, hi, everyone. Good to see y'all. Hugs and love. Hi, April.
Hamburger helper hand, April.
What you been up to, love? We just talking a bunch of nonsense. Judy's here. She says, hey, everyone. Hey, Jake and Amanda. Hi, Judy. How are you? Aaron says, you guys remember that Mario got on the cloud and used to throw turtles?
At you, he was so annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that? He was so annoying.
I remember having Yoshi help you. Yoshi get you with your tongue. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Yeah, I loved Mario.
Yes, I love all Mario.
Maureen says, John, yeah, we in the U.S. has to be net zero, but everyone else has no problem drilling. Never have understood that. I think that whole global initiative thing is just retarded. use the resources we have. That's what I say. April says, hey, Amanda and Jake and Judy and Aaron and Amy and Amber and Angel and John. Hey, April. Judy says, hey, April. April says, Cowboys, Maureen, good to see you. Isn't Linda here?
Hamburger helper hand.
Why you
Judy?
being so quiet, Linda?
She might have dozed off.
She might have. Linda!
Linda, wake up.
Fire! Sorry. Amanda says, hamburger helper hand, Judy.
I already did.
Maureen says, I like the PVC watering system. Oh, yeah. Hydroponics is great, especially if you're growing stuff under heat lamps and things like that. Like, you know, cichlids or mallowi. Cichlids I used to have, whatever that word is.
Cichlids.
Cichlids. I used to have them in Florida. Has Mayan cichlids.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. Anyway, they have a fast turnaround. They grow really quickly, and they mate a lot. You can live on those fish if you keep them. And they're pretty big fish. They have a lot of decent meat on them, so, or they get big. Like most animals in the ocean, I think they grow to their environment. So, like, you could potentially have, like, a really big goldfish if you put him in a big enough pond and feed him. I've seen a couple of, like, 3-foot goldfishes, but...
Those are koi.
Yeah, koi, whatever.
But, yeah, those cichlids go to their environment. They have anywhere between 50 and 100 babies at a time.
Yeah, so that's, there you go. That's cheap living right there, if you like fish. If the apocalypse ever happens, figure out who's got cichlids. John says, hey, Judy. Hey, April. Good to see you, hearts. Aaron says, hey, April. Cowboy says, hi, April. Smiley face.
Yeah, Aaron, I used to have a bunch of them, too, African cichlids.
Yep. Aaron says, look up aqua escaping Jake. They do that. Right on. Yeah, I know it's a good idea, so somebody's done it. It was just something I was dreaming about one day, planning on how to do it, because one day I wanted to do it, and I just never got around to it. Like so many things. April says, LOL, that or made in China. That's now. When I was a kid, everything was made in Taiwan or Hong Kong or Hawaii. But never the thing you think. All the American things were made in Taiwan. All the Chinese things were made in USA. Weird. April says, that's a good idea, Amanda and Jake. Cowabunga. Hearts. Maureen says, Aaron, I've seen those swimming pools that are cleaned by a fish. Aquaponics. I don't think that's what aquaponics means, but yeah. They do have sucker fish that clean pools.
Yeah, no, aquaponics is different.
Aquaponics is a watering system.
A self-sustainable watering system for growing plants.
Yep.
Typically marijuana.
Yes. But it works well for vegetables, too.
Right.
Aaron says the wall was made on the border of Mexico and moved to China. Right. Maureen says, sorry, folks. I have fat fingers tonight. Well, dang your fat little fingers. Weight Watchers. I'm just kidding. It's all right. April says, I agree, Jake. I was trying to think of a fat finger joke, but I couldn't think of one. Weight Watchers was the best I could do. Maureen says, I need to get rid of the union, or we need to get rid of the unions, not just the Department of Education. I don't disagree with that. The teachers union is one of the biggest problems there is because you can't fire the teachers. They need to be fireable. Absolutely. And we need to get rid of tenure also. Because that's a good way to keep a bad teacher. I also, by the same token, think teachers ought to be paid more like, say, ball players are paid, because their job arguably is better. I mean, think about it. The average ball player's contract is what? A couple $1 million? How come teachers ain't making that? That they're in charge of the entire future of a child. That would incentivize them to be good teachers. And I think that the stipulations for hiring a teacher ought to be stringent. I mean, you ought to be able to prove that you can educate and have something to teach. It seems like these are the easy things to fix, but I don't know why we're not fixing them. So there's got to be more to it than that. I wish I had more answers. I just don't. Amanda?
I've seen aquaponics and hydroponic weed growers. I knew someone who grew with a sponge and gravel. It was crazy.
Wow. Gravelly, spongy weed.
No, he would take like little totes and, shallow totes, and he would cover like an inch or so of gravel. And then he would put the sponges on the top of it and put his seeds in the, the pockets of the sponges, like dish sponges.
Mm-hmm.
Put the seeds in the pocket of the sponges, and the sponges and gravel would stay wet, and then the seeds would go through the sponge into the gravel.
Yeah, that's called germinating. You can do that with a paper towel, but that's actually a good idea to put it in sponges.
No, he would leave them in the sponges. And as they got bigger and bigger, he would just reach in there and scoop out a handful of gravel and sponge and transplant it into a bigger bucket with more sponges and more gravel and grow his plants. And his plants would be like 6 foot tall with about a 4 or 5 inch stalk on it.
Yeah, he's germinating them and planting them at the same time. That's actually pretty smart. Most people put the seeds in a paper towel and let them germinate, and then they plant them. He's just putting them in the sponge and sticking them in the ground. They planted already. So when they germinate, they just start growing, and he just scoops them out and plants them in their own little thing.
Well, these were in his basement, but yeah.
What's the difference? What are you talking about?
Weed.
What about it?
Growing weed like that in Florida.
Yeah, what's that got to do with his basement?
He was growing them in his basement, not out in the open.
I didn't say he was.
No.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
He planted the sponge, and then when it got big enough, he scooped it out and put it in his own container.
Yeah. But I'll burb.
What?
I will burb. BRB.
Okay. Well, bring coffee. Let's just see what happens, says April. I agree. Maureen says many teachers only join the unions for the insurance against false accusations. The teachers' union is a good place to hide for perverts, too. And other things. I don't know why that's a big gaping hole. I don't know why we leave that thing open. We ought to just shut that down. And Judy says, hey, Nugget. Aaron says, yeah, Amanda, I can see that because basically it's a sponge filter. Yep. You can actually buy those for aquariums. I used to have lots of aquariums and fish and stuff like that at one point, and my brother had a pet. At one point, my brother had a pet shop. Pet shop. Got it. That's cool, though. I had a fish aquarium once. It's a lot of work. I don't have the kind of dedication to the fish, So that had to go. But for about a year, I kept a big, I don't know how big it was, 55 gallons or something like that, about the size of a 30-inch TV. Pretty big fish aquarium. No hummingbirds here yet, says Judy. Not yet. It ain't quite time yet, but they're getting close. John says, we have lots of bats in the countryside here, right? You ever do that thing where you stick a bar of soap in a sock and throw it up in the air and catch a bat? Judy says, you can keep them, Nugget, and we have them here too. Yeah, I think our bats are a little smaller than their bats are, though. They got them countryside English bats. They have a British accent, and they have really bad attitudes. Wear that little sideways hat, you know what I'm talking about? Amanda says, I mean like dish sponge. Yeah, we got it. That's where he put the seeds, and then the root grew down in the gravel and grows. It's so cool to see all the stages, right on. And there it says, yep, sponge filter. If you put Kool-Aid in the sponge, it turns the plant whatever color and flavors it to taste like Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid weed. Or Kool-Aid tomatoes. I don't know, that would be good. April says, I'm at dollar store. Yay. Nice. Are you buying anything for $1? April says, I love Mario too. Haha. Mario was a great game. I played it back when it was just Super Mario Brothers. I did play it when it was just Mario Brothers. They didn't have the upgrade yet. That was back on the Donkey Kong thing. Remember that?
Zelda.
Yeah, and I like Zelda. Thank you. And Amanda says, yes, it does, Aaron. Smiley face. Judy says, never heard of that, Aaron. Oh, the Kool-Aid thing? Oh, yeah. The plant's going to eat whatever it's eating, you know. And if you put sugar in the soil, it's going to eat that. And then if you then eat the plant, you'll taste the sugar, Bob's your uncle. Or whoever he is. April says, LOL, Amanda. Aaron says, it's facts, Judy. April says, that's cool, Aaron. Thumbs up and smiley face. Judy says, wow, Aaron. Maureen says, Jake's chat's about to jump, and it did. Maureen says, why we have 16 watching but only 7 likes? Yeah, that math ain't mathing. Hit that like button, everybody. We've had 57 views total tonight, though, Maureen, not just 7. Or 16. Aaron says, raccoon suit. Oh, the Mario Brothers, yep. That's Super Mario Brothers 3. I went back a little further than that. I went back to Donkey Kong. You don't know nothing about no Donkey Kong, do you? Jumping barrels and throwing hammers and climbing ladders.
Bouncing up and down.
What's
your chat jump again?
Yep.
9:57.
I'm there. What it is what's good. Jello, Jake, and Amanda, and to all Untethered Live, I pack it a lot. What it is, what's up, brother?
What it is, hamburger helper hand. I pack it too.
I pack it a lot.
I pack it. Packety pack.
All right, now, you leave the southern accent to me.
No.
Judy says, hey, what it is? John says, for growing weed and vegetables. Right on.
Uh-huh.
Maureen says, why is my computer buffering again? I do not know.
I don't know. The only other thing I can think of, Maureen, is see if you got anything running in the background. Pull up your task manager and see what extra is running.
She might not know what all that is.
Well, I mean, she might not. It's just, I mean, if she knows, then she knows. If she don't, then I don't know how else to help her.
What it is says, I hit the pike button on the way in cheese. And Judy says, try refreshing, Maureen. Maureen says, great idea, Judy. I didn't think of that.
Maureen changed the rate of the video to 720 in settings at the bottom of Jake's video when you run the mouse across it. Please hold. Jake has to take a goodie powder.
We now return you to your regular scheduled program.
They should have cleaned your butt, too, there, what it is.
What's
Damn,
your
did I
mouth?
say that out loud?
What are you talking about?
What it is says, I had teeth cleaned at the dentist today.
Oh, are you going ahead of me in chat again?
It's the next one. I didn't want dead air.
I clean my teeth in the bathroom, what it is.
Right?
I just pop them out and wipe them off. Refreshing works for me, Maureen says Judy. And Maureen says, Amanda Banhammer, I did that. John says, we can't do that. We have police helicopters with heat seekers for growing weed. Yeah, we have them too. And we get caught a lot around the places where I've lived. I've heard a bunch about that. But for some reason, those guys out in the Midwest keep getting away with it. I don't know why.
Well, most of the Midwest is legal. in most of the places in the United States is legal. You're allowed to have up to a certain amount of plants, and you're allowed to have so many pounds or ounces for
And
use.
also, if you run with the cartel, you're probably in league with the government, and they leave you alone.
Right.
That's my guess. Judy says, wow. And Maureen says, I love playing Miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man. Yes. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Miss Pac-Man was a better game than Pac-Man, if I remember it correctly. One of them was a superior game. I just can't remember which one. I think it was Miss Pac-Man. Linda says, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. I got a phone call. I figured you was around somewhere. Hey, Linda.
Welcome back, Linda. We missed you. We were screaming for you.
Yeah. And Judy says, hey, Linda. April says, everything is outrageously high. Jeez. Welcome to the world. Speaking of that, where did Mabel go? Mabel, are you Mabel around?
She's probably helping Hannah with homework.
Amanda says, dollar store is a ripoff anyway.
Chat jumped.
Yep.
You're at,
No, it didn't.
Yeah, 10:06 is where you're supposed to be.
That's where I'm at.
You're way past.
I read everything is outrageously high, G's, and you said dollar store's a ripoff anyway, and then I tried both, and the buffering isn't as bad.
Okay.
Well, that's good, Maureen. And Judy says, yay, Maureen. Aaron says, let's do the line. Oh, let's do the line. And bought the first Nintendo. It was Donkey Kong and Duck Hunt. Little effing dog that used to jump out.
Uh-huh.
And the gun that no matter where you pointed it at, it would shoot the duck.
Right.
I learned that very quickly. I remember that game, too. I had that game.
Uh-huh.
April says, hey, Linda, and what it is, love and hugs. Because I remember the dog.
That's okay. I discovered the other day that on the Messenger, Facebook Messenger, you can play with your instant emoji.
Mm-hmm.
Like mine and Jake's got the little the heart smiley face thingy, and I tapped on it, and it's got like a like the Battlestar Galactica thing. It runs back and forth. It was funny. I didn't even realize we could do that. And I figured it out on accident.
You want me to tell you another little Easter egg?
What? There's got games.
Take your phone out.
Yeah.
Go to settings.
Yeah.
Scroll all the way down to about phone.
Yeah.
Click that. And then scroll down and you'll see a bunch of numbers and a grayed out stuff.
Uh-huh.
And one of them, I believe it says legal notices, but it might be a number.
Right.
Just start clicking on it and just click, 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 and then a game will pop up that you've never seen before and you can play a game.
Yeah.
There's one of those things in that about phone settings. Just click on it and eventually it'll come up. And all of your Android phones will do that. You're welcome. There's also an Easter egg on your YouTube page right beside the YouTube logo, but I'm not exactly sure if it's still there. It used to be. I think they did away with it, though. But you used to click in the blank space right in front of the word YouTube, and it would pop up a game to play.
Well, there's a thing now that says meet the Palomar Clay community.
I don't know what that is. April says, love all those, Aaron. My favorites. I guess you're talking about Nintendo games. Cowboy says, thumbs up for the Duck Hunt. Maureen says, yes, Miss Pac-Man was better. I thought so. My favorite game was Final Fantasy. I love that game. All the way up to 7. Anything past that got weird. And Zelda Ocarina of Time on the 3DS was a great little game. And ocarina, by the way, is a flute that's made out of clay. April says, yes, I remember that. LOL. What? You remember what?
Miss Pac-Man.
Oh. What it is says, I have my ass crack waxed, and it says it stays pretty clean.
Ew.
That's gross what
That's
it is.
TMI.
Why would you tell us about your ass crack
Cause I told him
shenanigans?
I told him he needed to get his ass clean. when he said he went to the dentist.
I got you. Never mind then. You are correct. You were within your right to say so. She shouldn't have teased you. She taunted you, and you taunted her a second time. Aaron says, dope, April. Dope. April says, I still have Nintendo and Atari and now a PS4. I love Rock Band and Guitar Hero, right? Yeah, anytime you can play guitar with one finger, that's
Right.
great.
And it don't barely matter if you mess up.
I play the real guitar with all 4 fingers, and I still can't play Stairway to Heaven.
Whatever.
April says, that's right, Aaron. Oh, yeah. Ha, ha, ha. And Aaron says, ass waxing is tough acting tenactin.
Oh, my gosh. Aaron, no, you did not do that.
John says, my favorite toy was the Evel Knievel wind-up bike. I had that. Yes, sir. I was alive when Evel Knievel was alive, so I got to watch him jump the Taj Mahal. Or whatever it was he jumped. And break every bone in his body. Aaron says, I tried to play Guitar Hero, but I wasn't good at it. Neither am I. And I play actual guitar, so it's not you. It's a weird game. Aaron says, Soph, where you at? I'm calling the demons.
I can't believe he did that.
Aaron and April are laughing, lamowing. Amber says, a bunch of smiley faces. And
Aaron did
hello,
it.
Soph.
Aaron did it.
Soph says, hey, guys, so I got 7 goals from basketball today. I'm very happy about it, except for one little problem. You don't have goals in basketball. You mean you shot a hoop?
Well, they might have goals over there. She's across the pond.
No, they're not goals. They're hoops.
Chances are they're not even playing basketball.
I mean, it might be a soccer situation,
Right,
but I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying.
Hello, Soph. April says, right on, Jake. And Aaron says, Zelda Gold cartridge.
Yep.
Yes, the gold cartridge, yes. You had to blow on it, though.
You had to blow in all the
Lick
Nintendo
it.
games.
And then stick it in and pop it on the top.
Ooh.
Yeah, baby.
Or you just push it in very little bit so it clicks as you put it down.
And every now and then you'd have to put another cartridge on top of it
yep.
and wiggle it in just right, but it would play.
Yep, turn it on and it'd flash and flash, and you'd wiggle that disc, and it would kill the cartridge.
I miss when they made things like that.
All right.
Now, if you do that to your PS4, you're screwed.
Yeah. That's like taping a penny to your record player arm.
April says, I miss watching you sing and play, Jake. Me too, April.
You think?
Me too. Amy says, Aaron, why did you evoke it? Amber says, nope. Yep. Aaron says, have you ever played the dinosaur game when you don't have internet? You jump over the cactuses. Mm-hmm. No. April says, hi, Soph. Good to see you. Heart. Aaron says, because it's funny. It is funny. That's amazing, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Stalker much?
Because it's funny, Amy. That's why. And Aaron says, hi, Mabel. She's here. I don't know if she's still here, but she was here. Amber says, smiley, smiley. And just nope. I hear you. April says, yes, LOL. Aaron, I play it almost every day. The Google Dino jumping cactuses. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't catch that immediately, but yeah, I played that once. Like 10 years ago. It was there then. And Aaron says, April, if you play it long enough, days go from day to night. I don't have that kind of stick-to-itiveness, though. I fall asleep. Linda says, blow on it. Suck's a figure of speech. No, wait. Blow's a figure of speech. Suck on it. And Judy says, hey, Soph. April says, ha. I remember blowing in the cartridges, LOL. I'm glad you specified. Is that so close to being something I could turn into a joke? John says, I've got 20,000 game retro stick like Pac-Man and Mario and Donkey Kong. Cool. That's awesome. Is that like a what game console do you use?
It's a gaming stick. It's like kind of like the Roku stick thingy. I know what he's talking about.
Yeah,
I've
but
looked
where's
into
the controller go?
it plugs into the box.
Oh, it's like one of those things that Walmart sells
Yes.
that looks like an Atari but isn't.
Yes.
I got you. The games would freeze, says Aaron. I hear you. Yeah, I'd like to have all those old retro games. Some of those games were pretty awesome.
I'm looking into some of them. I want to get one that's got the right games on it, though.
Yeah, well, you need Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, all of the Mario.
Super Mario Brothers. I don't care for the regular Mario or the Donkey Kong, unless it's the new Donkey Kong, the one that came out with the PlayStation.
Yeah.
That's good. A little Crash Bandicoot and all that. That's good.
And Zelda.
Zelda, obviously. And Final Fantasy. All those old top-down games from Nintendo, like Zelda.
Ghostbusters.
No.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters is a terrible game.
Well.
Trust me, it's terrible. Ninja Gaiden. Some of those games are just Metal Gear Solid. Or Metal Gear back in the day. I can't remember the name of the one, but it was pretty cool. Amber says, right, April? Or tapping it kind of gently. Yes, got to tap it. Dwight Siri says, are you fond of the band Sofa King? I don't think I've ever heard of them, Dwight.
Never heard of it.
Welcome to the show. April says, yes, haha.
Yes, Nugget, I'm going to get some type of game soon.
Yeah, I'd like to have a game. I'd like to have a PS4.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Yeah. I like Blood Rain and Tomb Raider and things like that.
My
And Fallout, obviously.
My comment didn't post.
Your comment didn't post.
Yeah, I responded to Linda's comment after she said the blow on it. I said, LOL, Linda, lick it and blow on it and then slap it. Yeah.
Right. Aaron says, if you guys get time, look up the store 8-Bit. It's in Florida, down the street from me, and it's a retro game store. It's really cool, and they have all the old school stuff in it. 8-Bit. We'll look into that, Amanda.
Okay.
April says, hi, Dwight.
Dwight, hamburger helper hand.
And LOL, says April. I know I almost stuck my foot in my mouth, OMG. I know you're a hungry girl, but both feet?
Can she get both feet to her mouth?
She ain't a blonde if she can't.
Well, she does wear hoop earring.
Aha! Amber says, Dwight, good evening. Have you met Soph? Aaron says, whoosh, I did it. Aaron says they're playing circuit tits. Right on. John says it's a dongle stick with 2 controllers. That's cool. And it's got all the old games, like 20,000 games. That's badass. Is it just for Nintendo or is it cross genres? Is it different? You get like Sega games and PlayStation games, or is it just Nintendo games? Got them all, says John. That's an awesome, cool thing to have. Is the controller cool? Does it work right? Or is it one of those weird controllers that don't feel right?
Nugget, have to take a picture of it and put it in the chat.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Aaron says Resident Evil. Yes, Resident Evil. The first one was awesome and scary. Remember walking down the hall with the crows making that sound and the footsteps and no music in the background, and then they just bust through the window? Oh, I love that game.
GTA.
GTA's good. Yeah, I like that game. But Resident Evil Special. There's just something about that game that's just, you play it in the middle of the night and you're on edge because you've never been there before, and it's pretty realistic for when it came out. That's a great game. I'd forgotten all about that one. Thanks, Aaron. Yeah, we need to get Resident Evil. That's why you should have an original PlayStation laying around for just that occasion. April says, I like Toy Story. That's a movie. Aaron says, remember when everybody had a disc doctor and it could save your whole life because you would turn that thing and refurbish the disc?
Uh-huh.
I didn't ever have a disc doctor.
It was a circle ring with a polishing cloth in it.
I just used toothpaste.
Yeah,
Just
toothpaste.
put toothpaste on it and let it dry and then wipe it off with a soft towel. Bob's your uncle.
But yeah, this is you put a little thing on, put the solution on it, and put the disc in there, and it had a spinner, and you just spin the disc, and it buffed the disc back out.
That's
yeah, I
actually
remember
cool.
those.
I learned a toothpaste thing out of necessity. But
Right.
Yeah. Aaron says Toy Story 5 is on the way. I hear you. And who is Sofa King? Says Amber. I don't know. It was either a joke or a band. I've never heard of them. Dwight, who is Sofa King?
I have pinball on my computer, Maureen.
Maureen says, I miss pinball. You see how that doesn't work now that you jumped the gun? It's like telling the punchline before you tell a joke. Let me get to it. Abel says, yeah, who is Sofa King? I don't know. It's either a joke or a band. What it is says Doom, the video game. Oh, you mean... Yeah, I played it. Duke Nukem, Doom. I remember when it first came out and it would always crash my Windows 3.1 machine that I built by hand. That was a cool game, though. But I don't like first-person shooters. I like to see the character, top down. Amber says, pinball. Whoa, memories. Yep. Amy says, OMG, y'all. I'll get right on that.
April.
April said that. What did I say?
Amy.
Amy. April. Sorry. A lot of A's. OMG, I'll get right on that. You'll get right on what?
Toy Story, maybe?
Toy Story 5 or Sofa King?
I don't know.
Or pinball?
One of them.
One of them. Add context to your comment so I know what you're talking about. I can't remember what happened an hour ago. Angela says, I was an older teenager when those video games came out. I graduated in 1984. What a great year 1984 was. Not just because it was 1984. And could never get into video games except actual pinball at the pool hall. I remember those days. And Maureen says, yeah, April, I'm that old, LOL. But age has nothing to do with it because I didn't get into video games until I was grown. But I like video games. Amber says, Jake, I thought the same thing with Dwight. Amber says, what it is? Hearts and stars. And April says, yay, Part 5, Toy Story. That's cool. Milk it until it's dead. They need another Lion King now. Part 7,000. Oh, it's a game too? I didn't know that. Amber says, I graduated high school in 1995. I hear you. I got married in 1995.
I was just going to say, we got married in 95.
Yeah, I did. Angela says, hang on. John, are the words in Chinese? My grandson has one like that, but the words are written in mostly Chinese. Some of them are, some of them are not, I would imagine. There's a lot of games that are Chinese games. And some of them aren't. But I know what you're talking about, though. Those are ROMs. Like a emulator kind of thing. John says Game Boy games as well. Atari as well. I got you. Aaron says Battletoads and Paperboy. I don't think I've ever played that one. There is a game called Paper Mario, though. Look into that. That's a fun game. Paper Mario. It's weird, but it's fun. April says, I remember that too. And Aaron says, Metal Gear Solid Snake was the best one. I thought the first one was the best one, Metal Gear. The one on Nintendo. Where all the sounds came from, like, blank, you know, the little alert. Metal Gear. Amber says, April, did I say hey to you? If not, hey. April says, pinball is always fun. I never got into pinball. Too mechanical. I do like to stand there and look like I'm cool, though. Tilt machine. Never mind. I ride a motorcycle. I don't need any of that. Angela says, April Heart. And April says, hey, Amber Lovely, how's it going? Judy says, we have an Addams Family pinball machine. Nice. Does it go da-da-da-da? Maureen says, cool. Amber says, yay, A-team. A lot of A's in this chat. Amber, pinball, says Angela. Heart.
That's because we rule.
You do rule. Well, I was ruling the roost. I had all the chicks to myself. And suddenly I felt this funny little feeling I felt. And I was doing pretty good, but then it came over me. Then it ruled me, it hit me, it really took me by surprise. I forgot that first line. Anyway, it's a little bitty teeny-weeny thing they call a love bug. April says ''𝕉𝕠'', and John says Angela. Some have, but most are in English. Yep. Yeah, there's different ones. I had the Chinese ones too. Back when I would save ROMs on a CD and play them on a computer. And you'd have an emulator, like a Nintendo emulator, but I never could get the controls right because you had to play it on a keyboard, so I never enjoyed that. I like having that controller in my hand, and I didn't have the money to buy one, so that went away. April says, good times. Yep. When you go down and put 4 quarters in the jukebox and hang out with your friends at the pool hall and get in all kind of trouble. Aaron says, I haven't modded PSPs. That's like the personal PlayStation, right? Is that little handheld deal? Yeah, I like those things. I've never played one, though.
I want to get us Switches.
And it's cross-modded like that, and I can get all the new stuff and the old stuff from different systems. That's cool. Oh, you have a modded PSP. I got you. Yeah, I'd like to have one of those handheld deals. That seems to be pretty cool. I like the Nintendo 3DS that they had. I bought them for my son, and I ended up playing it half the time. That's a cool little deal, though, that 3DS. So if PlayStation made one, I'd love it.
And Nintendo has the Switch now, though. That's pretty cool, too.
What's that one about?
It's a handheld thing, and it's got the little controllers that pop off of it where you can play on the TV or you can play between each other.
Yeah, that'd be all right. Yeah, I'd like to have a Nintendo Switch. It seems to me that Nintendo would have the most games. I think I just got a picture of John's video game. Hang on.
Yeah.
Wow, that just looks like steak. Nope. I guess it didn't. Nope.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know what Facebook is doing. John, you'll have to
didn't get it.
Oh, you're not in the Facebook chat group no more, are you? Post it on the Facebook page. Are you still on the Facebook page?
I'm getting a pretty cool Telecaster, though.
Yeah, no, it's just kicking you into your regular Facebook. Mine's doing that, too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why Facebook's been doing that lately.
I don't either. Come on back into the Facebook, man.
You have to post it on the Facebook page.
Angela says, that was one of my favorite pinball games, the Addams Family. Da-da-da-da. I love how it talk to me. Like Morticia or Gomez. Darling. Hang on.
10:28.
April says, I like Dwight's name. Whoever you are, what's up? You like the name Dwight? I do too, kinda. Amber says, Lion King is always my favorite. Which is African for, oh my God, there's a lion. That's really what that means. Look it up. Linda says, same with me, Angela. Never played video games, but did play arcade games, and that is a video game. I don't know if you knew that or not. It's just a different stick. Same game, different stick. Much like a relationship. You even have the cheat code. Up, down, left, right. Start!
Boom, 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 boom.
Bang, bang, bang. Sometimes I'm hilarious.
Damn puddle.
Maureen says, I got into Miss Pac-Man in college, and I graduated high school in 1981. I went to work in 1981.
Graduated in 89.
That says 1981. I'm looking at it.
Oh, okay. My chat jumped.
Aaron says 3 hours for that rocket launcher. Right on. What rocket launcher? What are we talking about? Amber says, no, April, just no. John says, it has Tekken and Street Fighter. Tekken and Street Fighter were good games, too. I wasn't real crazy about Street Fighter, but I kind of like Tekken. There's an old game. I wish I could remember the name of it, but it had, like, split screens, and they moved separately, and it was of a sun and the guy's back looking at the sun. Rygar. I think it was called Rygar. I think that's the name of that game, and I loved it. It was very, like, an old Conan-esque type game. Anyway, it's a good game. I miss those days. Rygar, I think that's the name of it. Judy says, it's funny, Angel. If you bump the flipper, it giggles at you. Yeah. Anytime you bump the flipper, they'll giggle at you.
I'll do something at you.
Angela says, okay, John, probably the same. They look like old Mario games. Those old Mario games are the shit, though.
Right.
That's a way to spend an afternoon right there, vegging out in a video game. April says, LOL, Judy. Angela says, I know, I loved it. Amy says, I graduated in 1989. I married in 1991. First child in 91. Second child in 94. Widowed in 2022. Interesting. Let's see. What was I doing in 89? Batman came out in 89. I went to the movie theaters and watched that. That was the Michael Keaton Batman, came out in 1989. And in 1991, I graduated from Travis Technical Institute as a computer expert. In 1994, my lung collapsed and I had to have surgery. And in 2022, that was just yesterday, I was here doing the same thing I'm doing now. Excellent. My, how the times have changed.
Mm-hmm.
April says, LOL at Jake. You are cool. I am cool. Yes, I am. Don't you ever let anybody tell you different. Amber says, I had my daughter in 98, my son in 03. And I got my first, what are we doing here? 03. What was in 03? Something happened in 03. I don't know. My first child was born in 05. 04 and 05. November of hold on. December of 04, November of 05. I think that's how it worked. 1998. That's probably on a roof somewhere. That sounds right.
Yeah, because that was right before you went to Georgia.
Judy says, actually, it does, Jake. What does?
Mm.
I don't know. Oh, that. Got it.
I had my first son in 98 too, and my daughter was born in dang, 02.
At least you can breathe. Angela says, Amy, I'm old. By the time you graduated, I was married and about to have my third child in August of 89. Dang, I'm old. And did you see Batman? It came out in 1989. Amber says, fresh bowl loaded. I'll get toasty. Amy says, go to the woods. There's a bunch of switches for free.
Yeah.
I used to have to do that when I got in trouble. And I better not pick the little swishy one because I'd get wore out with that sumbitch and then have to go get a real one. And those things hurt like a whip. And leave streaks all up and down your legs. April says, those are good, Amanda. What are?
The switches.
Oh, the switches. Oh, April says the switches. Right. I've never played one. Amber says, thank goodness I only have two. One of each. Daughter and then son and then done. I have 3 children. One of each. Angela says, the voices changed on the Addams Family pinball game. Okay. I hope that's voices or vocals.
Voices.
Angela says, voices. Dang, I can't even spell. That's all right. I can't read, so we're even. Between the two of us, we'll figure out what you're saying. I celebrate by choice, Jake. I'm celibate by choice, Jake. I hear you. I was that way for 15 years. I was like Kwai Chang Kang, just roaming from town to town, solving crimes with my kung fu. And then all of a sudden, she comes into my life.
Back.
I was a monk for a little while, though.
Couldn't get rid of me that easy. Now I drive him crazy.
I still have a few tricks up my sleeve. Don't you get too comfortable.
No. You'd starve. You wouldn't have cookies every week or every other day.
That's almost worth it.
Mr. Cookie Monster.
Aaron says switches and some scissor.
Sipping some scissor.
Switches and some scissor into his house.
You sipping some scissor, Aaron?
Aaron says maple tree jokes plus a song.
Right.
Right on. I like those. Amber says, hey, Amy, guess what? Chicken butt. Wait, what? Amber says, playing with my jumping chick. Hey, don't tell everybody that. You can do that in private. And spin rabbit. Messing with a dog. Hey, is that what the kids are calling it these days? When I was a kid, they called it messing with the man in the boat down at the YMCA. You know what I'm saying? Aaron says, I still do the Wii Fit with the board. Really? I threw that out the window as soon as I got it. It was ridiculous.
I liked my Wii. I liked playing tennis. And...
It's like, why would I jump up and sword fight like this when I could just press the button and it does the same thing?
I like bowling and tennis, and baseball was fun, and Mario Kart was fun.
It was fun for 5 seconds until I realized that if you pressed the button, it did the same thing and you didn't have to get up and move.
No, not on bowling and
yes, just
no.
This is all you got to do.
No, you had to swing on bowling and tennis and stuff like that.
Nope.
Yes, you did.
You just sit there and do that.
No, you couldn't.
Yeah, you can.
You had
There's a
defect the
Wii in that room. Go check it out.
Okay.
It used to be. I might have sold it.
There's a Wii in there. I'll hook it up and play it.
Angela says, I became a grandma in 06. Right on. I went into an alternate reality in 06. June 6th of 2006, I was forced into an alternate reality. It's true. I'll tell you all about it sometime. Amber says, I've never been a TV person, so no gaming for me. Music, on the other hand, yes. I don't think being a TV person and a game person are the same thing. Because a TV person just veges out and watches Leave It a Beaver for 24 hours straight. But a gaming person does this for 24 hours straight. Same thing. Angela says, yes, Batman with the guy from the movie Duplicity. Yes, Michael Keaton. And Mr. Mom was the movie before Batman. That's where his fame was from. Duplicity, I think, came out later. Maybe it didn't. I can't remember when it came out. But yes, same guy. That was a, I can't think of the guy's name. He's the weird guy that did Edward Scissorhands. And, Princess
Johnny
Bride.
Depp?
No, not Johnny Depp. The director.
Oh.
All I can think is Bob Dylan, and that ain't it. I can see his hair, though, sticking up. Anyway. Changed Angel, says Judy. Don't know what that is. I forget
Tim
his
Burton.
name. Tim Burton, thank you. Tim Burton movie. I forget his name. Michael Keaton. Changed Angel? I don't know who that is, Judy. Is that a movie? Or a video game? John says, I love gadgets. Me too.
I like thingamajigs.
Angela says, I've come upon some holograms out in the desert, but not an alternate reality or whatever you said. Right on. Well, the holograms is explainable. We live in a hologram. That's what this whole universe is. It acts like one anyway. But the alternate reality, I don't know if that's true or not, but it sure felt like it. It's like everything was the same, but all of the intentions were different. Like opposite of what they were. Overnight. Like that. And I swear for years I felt like I fell into a reality that was not mine. And I eventually adjusted, but it's definitely different than the one I came from. I don't know how that happened, though. I can't tell you why. It's just the way it felt. I might have had a psychotic break and just went crazy. I don't know. Amber says, okay, y'all, it's insulin and seizure meds time. I know y'all next podcast. Hearts and stars and prayers. Amber, take care of yourself, sweet lady. I'm going to bed, too. And good night. And Judy says, good night, Amber. Amanda.
Good night, Amber.
John says, my son was born in 1999. I moved to North Carolina the last day of 1999. From Georgia to North Carolina. I played a show in Georgia. I watched the ball drop, and I went home and packed up a bag and got in a car and woke up the next day in North Carolina. Linda says, good night, Amber. And Judy says, she said the voices changed on the Addams Family. Right on. Changed Angel. I got you. Angel, they changed? Yeah. I would imagine they're different than the TV show. Different actors. April says, good night, Amber. And Amanda says,
Son 98, daughter in 02, son in 05, son in 09, and son in 17.
close your legs.
I was married.
Angela says, like what our world is doing now, I didn't come from a place like this either. I get that, right. Yeah, there was a definite line, and I noticed a change from what was going on in my life and then what was happening now. It was a definite thing happened. It was June 6, 2006 when I noticed it. That's 666, by the way. It's also interestingly enough, the month they turned on the CERN Hadron Collider in Switzerland. Don't know if that had anything to do with it or not, but it was just interesting. They did have a satanic seance out in front of that place as a celebration for it coming online. That's all over the internet. You can go watch that. Anyway, my world changed drastically and noticeably from that moment forward, it was a different place. So you understand what I'm talking about. You may be the only person that does. Everybody else thinks I'm crazy. But I'm not crazy. Something happened. I just don't know what it was. But something. And now, look at the world we live in. This is not the world we came from. It's a different place. April says, John, how have you been? Angela says, good night, Amber. And Aaron says, smiley face, thumbs up. And April says, wowee. Aaron says, easing off the edge of the headache. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. And Maureen says, good night, Amber.
Good, Aaron.
April says, I agree. Right? All right. That's it. Bottom of the chat. Aaron says, I told a guy he's so black. When he closes his eyes, he sees himself. Wow. Yep. That'd be black. Angela says, not just one character's voice on the Addams Family game. So they got new actors to play the characters. Gotcha. April says, LOL, smiley face.
Nighters, I'll see you Friday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Untethered Live for Chillstream. Much love, y'all.
On. Sound just like me. It's like listening to a mirror. Wait, what? Aaron says the mirror hits the light switch. Right on. Linda says, good night, all. And Maureen says, blessed night, folks. Stay safe. April says, I love y'all. Sweet dreams. Good night. Judy says, I get it, Angel. Amanda.
I've seen people so black they were purple.
Right on. John says, April getting better. A lot of psychotherapy. Physiotherapy. No, he's not crazy. A lot of strength work. Yeah. I'm glad you're getting better, too. April says, God bless you. Angela says, good night, everyone. God is answering prayers. He certainly is, Angela. All right, everybody. I love you with all my heart. I do. I've had a great time tonight. I hope you guys have had as much fun as I've had. I'll see y'all Friday for another chill stream. We'll do something. Erika, Kirk, Tucker Carlson, Al Gore rhythms. Clickbait. All right.
Good night, y'all.
Angela says, yeah, the evil crawled out of the rocks, Judy. Oh, yeah. Aaron says, purple people equal California raisins. Right on. I heard it through the grapevine. Don't you know it's about time? All right. April says, much love, John. Prayers and love to you all. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Have a great night. I'll see you Friday.
Nighters.
Peace out. Live long and prosper.